Well, hi guys. I know some more people are going to join us, and I'm super excited about today because we're going to talk about exercise. And if anyone knows me, they know that ever since I was like probably in fourth grade, exercise has been a part of my life. It's what you do. And that was how I grew up in a family that you just worked out. And I didn't really know why, but back in the day when I was a young girl, it was all about body composition and the way you look. But now as I'm getting older, I know that the benefits are getting rid of pain, the mood, and sleep, and all of these different benefits of exercise. And I've tried everything. I was a volleyball player and I rode crew at the national level in high school. I ran as I went through that period, I think like every woman does, with chronic cardio, and realized that that wasn't doing me any good. I've done weightlifting, I've done yoga, HIIT training. So there's a ton of different exercises, right? And we're told we should be exercising. So number one, I wanted to talk about the benefits of exercise in general. Number one, bone density. Something really interesting is you take the Olympic athletes, the swimmers for women, and the gymnasts. And you've got these swimmer women who are super strong and big women, right? They have the lowest bone density because they're not having that impact of gravity. And then you've got these super thin, even maybe too thin gymnasts who can not be healthy, and they've got the strongest bone density, and that's because they're doing that pounding and pounding when they jump and they land, and that's really good for bone density. My point in bringing that up is when you're exercising, whether it's running or weightlifting, or we're going to talk about the vibration machine, you are strengthening that bone density, and bone density comes from proper hormones, from exercise like we're talking about, and from calcium, but not from a calcium supplement, from nutrients in the foods that give the body the proper nutrients to keep that calcium in the bones. One little thing about calcium, it's the most alkaline mineral of the body. So if your body's super stressed out and running acidic, your body's going to steal the calcium from its bones to balance out that acidity in the blood. So stress is part of a bone density issue as well. Well, what helps with stress? Exercise. And what also it helps with, I know everyone is suffering from anxiety and depression and a lack of sleep and just overly stressed because of COVID and everything we've gone through over the last 2 years. When we were told it was going to be 2 weeks for the spread, slow the spread for 2 weeks, I sat down the kids and I said, okay, this is what's important when you're going on Zoom and we're trying to make our own schedules. You have to exercise for an hour a day, whether it's weightlifting, whether it's getting on a rowing machine or taking the dog for a walk. It's that important. And then I also said, you need to feed your brain, you need to proper sleep, you need to stay on track with your eating, because all of these things are going to be magnified when we're in a super stressful situation like COVID and being on Zoom and being isolated. So exercise is an integral part of health and lifestyle. All these other things, the supplements, the diet, the patches, they're great and all, but they don't work if you're not exercising, moving your body, or you're not sleeping. These basic things are needed. Okay, so what else do you get from exercise? Fat oxidation. You're mobilizing the fat, you're lowering your blood sugar, you're lowering your insulin. That lets you tap into your fat stores to burn that fat. It's burning the visceral fat and the belly fat and the liver fat, fatty liver disease. It's increasing circulation. It's increasing autophagy. Autophagy is that killing and cleaning up of diseased and damaged cells. All of these things are from exercise. It kicks you into ketosis much faster than just with diet or with supplements. And it increases that fat burning. And then I'm writing an article on depression, seasonal depression. Well, what what is connected to depression? A rise in BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, okay? So this is something that you can actually measure that is directly correlated with increase in mood and a lack of depression. Well, what is the quickest way to increase that BDNF? Is exercise. So that mental health and the neurotransmitters are directly related to exercise. And like I mentioned, the different types of exercise, yoga, really good for stress levels, cortisol, lowering your cortisol levels, lowering blood sugar and insulin in direct relationship to, sorry about the phone there, in relation to the blood sugar, as because cortisol on its own can raise blood sugar and can raise insulin. Walking lowers cortisol as well. Strength training, really important as we get older to increase your muscle mass. And it's hard to keep your muscle mass on. That's why I promote high protein diets, high wild protein diets, and increasing that, the heavy lifting of weights, or as heavy as you can. HIIT training, where you do high intensity training in short bursts, and doing that 2 to 3 times a week. And I talk about that in some of my articles. And cardio. Cardio is needed, but not chronic cardio. We don't want too much. It can break down your body and accelerate aging. All these other types of exercise reverse aging or are very anti-aging. Well, today we're going to talk, and we've got Ed on. I'm super excited because I've been dealing or using vibration machines. Gosh, it must be like over 10 years. I've had different machines, and I use them as an integral part of my routine. I lift weights. I use the machine. I will walk. I'm not doing yoga right now because of COVID, mostly. Just I've gotten out of that routine of leaving the house. But I use weights on the vibration machine. I sometimes just sit on it to help relax me. I sometimes stretch on it, and it gets you into that deeper stretch. But I know it's increasing my bone density, increasing my circulation, helps with my edema, helps with my neurotransmitters. I do it sometimes at night, and it helps me sleep. But it's the first thing I do in the morning when I wake up. And sometimes I wake up and I go, I just don't want to work out today. It's so easy to step on that machine and at least get the benefits of circulation and bone density and some of the things that we want from exercise. I've got a lot of elderly clients that love their vibration machines because they're so tired they don't want to actually work out anymore. And then I've got people like me who is actually using weights on the machine, doing sit-ups on the machine, doing push-ups on the machine, and enhancing that. And what has really been impactful and has worked synergistically is the new X49 patch that helps with increasing bone muscles and is very anti-aging. But I've seen a difference in my muscle mass, and then it's also been shown to decrease fat. Well, you're only going to enhance that effect when you're on a vibration machine with the circulation and the increased fat oxidation that you get from being on it. So Ed, welcome today. And I want to talk about all the benefits beyond what I've said about these machines.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. And one thing I wanted to touch on, and I'm sure you can tell everybody what would be the best one, but when you're talking about when you're working out, overworking out, when you're doing the cardio, you are as you know, you're causing free radicals in the body, and that could cause a lot of aging in the body. So one thing I always like to tell people, if they're runners or anything like that, and if they're taxing the body, there's a lot of good benefits, but you don't want those free radicals running crazy and causing the damage in the body. So obviously, very high vitamin C. And then Sarah, also, I'm sure you could recommend some other antioxidants when you are going to be working out hard like that.
Absolutely. And I wrote in my article that you guys have all read about reverse aging. What are the 2 things that cause aging is oxidative stress, like Ed just mentioned, and insulin resistance and toxicity. 3. And we're detoxing constantly to get those toxins out. and we're using all the antioxidants like the MyVital C, the silver helps with that, the glutathione patch, the Eon patch, the X39 patch. Those all are helping reduce the oxidative stress. And then the diet, getting rid of the junk food, the processed food, the vegetable seed oils, and sticking to the wild animal protein and the vegetables that work with your body. So that is a great point, because I saw it myself as I was getting in this mode of, oh, I'll run 4 miles, I'll run 5 miles, I'll run 6 miles. Well, I should be seeing a benefit, and I wasn't seeing a benefit. It didn't do me any good. And every year we have the Orange County Marathon that runs right in front of my house, and I'm watching all these runners. Obviously they're fit and they're running 26 miles. Some of them are carrying the middle weight. And that middle weight is cortisol. It's a stress hormone, because their adrenals are completely burned out. And the body's saying, well, you're going to probably run a lot today, like you ran yesterday. And I'm going to hold on to every single calorie that you put in your mouth. And so it's not working, right? But it's so many more benefits and body composition changes with the vibration machines over cardio. And you can do it in such shorter time, which is also great.
And it's really nice too. I mean, there's a lot of benefits. I mean, for the everyday person where you don't have issues, the lymph drainage that you're going to get from the machine, getting lymphatic drainage. You can basically, everyone always asks you, what's lymphatic drainage? You can get it jumping on a mini trampoline. Basically, all your lymph nodes, they have flaps. They kind of like go up and down. So on the slower speeds, the flaps are having time to open up and pump the lymph out of the system, detox the body. Vibration machine is an excellent way to do that. One of the best things with the vibration machine is, certain things you do want to put a certain amount of stress on the body, like Sarah was talking about for the bone density. You do want to have that impact, and you can set the different vibration machines to do that without taxing the body too much, which is great. Lymph drainage for the detox is excellent, helping with blood flow, circulation. And what the machine's doing as far as exercise, the best way I always try to describe it is when you're on the machine, it's kind of putting you off balance. So the brain is sending a message to the muscle, we're off balance, let's restabilize, and it's flexing the muscle. So going on the machine, you're flexing over 120 muscles at one time. So if you could picture standing on the floor, taking a dumbbell and just curling it, you're going to get the benefits. Now picture taking that same dumbbell, curling it up very slow and flexing your muscle 40 times on the way up. You're going to get that many more benefits.
That's amazing. And that's why, if someone's not strong enough to do push-ups on the machine, but they can just hold themselves and maybe slowly go down as much as they can, they're getting so much more benefit than if they were just doing it on the floor. But let's talk about the other benefits in bone density. Have you seen studies on the bone density and lymph? Lymph is super important. I actually just got an email from somebody who's getting edema in their ankles as the day goes on. That's going to help with the machine is going to help with flushing the toxins out and help with the circulation, obviously, and help with edema as well.
Absolutely. So lymphatic drainage, I mean, a lot of people, they get on the machines and, everyone's like, oh, let me crank it up as high as I can. You're going to get a lot more benefits on the slower speeds. Basically on the slower speed, you're mimicking a trampoline, getting that long, deep bounce, you're pumping the lymph systems. Some people will get it in the ankles. Almost everybody kind of gets in the jawline and the face. Using the machine over the first 2 weeks on the slower speeds, you're going to see that the neckline and the jawline kind of tighten and taunt up, and that'll show you that you are draining that fluid a lot more efficiently. So
amazing. So what else? What other benefits do you see that there's studies on?
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many things that people that a lot of people want to exercise their bodies. Some people have ailments like COPD where they can't really do the cardio, tax the cardio system, but they want to exercise the body. This one, unless you purposely engage in certain exercises on there, you can flex the muscles, you can work the muscles without taxing the cardio system. So you really have to kind of decide if you want to or not, which is great for people with COPD where they can't do it. MS, Parkinson's, where they have balance issues on the machine. especially the dual machines, because it's never doing exactly the same motion. The brain can't really get used to it. So it's constantly helping with balance. Bone density, there are certain settings as you go a little bit higher, it does put a little bit of taxing on the muscles and the bones in the body. So you do help, it does help with the bone density, tightening and toning of the skin as well, and just overall blood flow and circulation throughout the body.
And are you seeing people actually their body composition change in increasing muscle mass and decreasing fat?
Absolutely. And I always tell everybody, oh, how much am I going to, as you always get, how much weight am I going to lose? Don't look at the scale, because three things are happening. One, you're going to be losing the body fat. Two, it does help to tighten and tone the skin, which is very important. And three, you're going to be gaining lean muscle. Lean muscle is going to do a couple of things. One, with that lean muscle in place, that's going to, as fat comes down there, it's going to help to burn off more fat. But also, the muscle does weigh more than the fat. So I always tell people, don't look at the number on the scale. Look how your pants, how you dress, how your clothes are fitting you. Think of more like body sculpting is really, really the best way to view it.
Yeah, and in general, people should not be looking to exercise for weight loss. That's more of a diet thing. Exercise is to redo your composition of your body. And I love that you talk about the scale. I tell people to give their scale to their worst neighbor, because it tells you nothing, right?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says so many great quotes. He said, building the body in shape and losing, he says it's 90% diet, 10% working out.
Exactly. Well, the other thing that I've talked about for insulin resistant, because most people are insulin resistant, to after they eat, to increase that fat mobilization, to go for a walk for 10 minutes. But how much better would it be to just stand on the machine for a few minutes? And that's going to help lower your insulin and your blood sugar. And you're going to start getting that blood glucose that you've just eaten driven into your muscles, where it can actually go do some good work instead of being turned into fat and stored as fat on the body. I have to also say that there are mornings when I don't feel like working out, and I look in the mirror and I go, oh my God, my eyes are really puffy and I've got to be on camera in about 30 minutes or whatever it is. Just standing on the machine, the drainage in my eyes, my face looks better. I'm awake. I will stand on there thinking I'm not going to do a real workout today because I have no energy. I get on that machine to start, and just by the circulation in the blood moving gives me that energy to then say, oh no, I'm going to lift weights now, or I'm going to go on the rowing machine. So there's all these other benefits that trickle into the rest of your day. And then if I'm in between calls or sitting at my computer too long, I just go jump on the machine for 5-10 minutes, and it helps rejuvenate me and give me a second wind. Ed, what are you seeing an increase in caloric burn, or is that not something that, because I know some machines out there are claiming that they're burning extra calories, and I know everybody's different. Every metabolism is different. You really can't put a number to it, but I'm just curious what you're seeing with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's you really can't throw a number at it, because you got to put in so much information. What's the height? What's your weight? What's your athletic ability? Where there's so much to do. You could throw a number on there. You might as well throw on a counter to how long you stayed on there and did the exercise, or did the position. What's nice about the machine is it's a lot of the machine's doing a lot of the work for you. Like you said, some people get on there, it's their morning coffee. I get a lot of calls, people call me up, telling me they're sleeping better, restless leg syndrome, helping with neuropathy. It's just you're moving the body, you're moving the lymph, you're getting the blood circulation. There's nothing better for your body, and you're doing this without really stressing exercise, where you don't get the aches and pains to go along with it. Another thing nice with the machine is, on certain modes you put it on, you don't really have to do anything. You holding yoga, Pilates positions, wherever the machine is vibrating, that's the part it's working on. So you can do a simple exercise, putting your arms out like a letter T, and people feel like their stomach, like it's like burning. And it's like, yeah, it's, you know, you're working those muscles, you're taxing the muscles. They lean forward on the machine, just rest their forearms on the machine. That's working the back of the legs, the butt, and the love handles. So just simple positions on the machine. The machine does a lot of the work for you, and you'll feel it.
You know, my dad has neuropathy, and it's great because you can hold on to the handles and stand there and get that circulation going, where he's losing the control of his lower legs because there's no muscle mass there anymore. And so it's a great way for him to safely do an exercise that's stimulating the rest of his body. And I love that you're talking about you'll feel where it's working, because I will sit on it. I will have dumbbells in my hands, and I wonder if you've ever done this exercise, and just twist it. And you feel your whole abdominal just tighten up and burn. And it's the
Wow,
oddest.
I've never done that with that. That's great. You have to show that to me. That's awesome.
It's a great little position. And I'm sitting there going, this is probably the best sit up that I could be doing. Marty has a question. Is there an average time length for the vibration machine for lymphatic and bone density?
Yes, good question. Anytime you use the vibration machine, and again, I'm going to tell you the average. Some people have a lot of toxicity going on in the body. I mean, before the vibrations, we also did infrared saunas. We work with red light therapy right now. And your fat cells store a lot of toxins. So you don't want to overload the body. Anytime you're starting out with the machine, if you do think that you do have some toxicity going on, you're on steroids, or the doctor had you on some meds for a while that you don't want to overwhelm your body with, start with 5 minutes at a time. The average person, you do 10 minutes at a time. If you do want to do it more than once a day, which you don't need to, but if you do, always have at least a 2-hour window in between, drink a lot of water. That gives your body time to process, get rid of some of the toxicities, let the liver, let everything kind of cleanse out, and you can go again. But for the first 2 weeks, at least, I say do it once a week. You decide if you have like toxic loads in the body, if you want to do 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and just kind of feel your body and let your body be the guide. You say, you know what, I could use a little more. You know what, I'm feeling good, and just kind of let that guide you. But the average person is 10 minutes a day or every other day to start.
Okay. And then you mentioned far infrared sauna and red light therapy. Is there a protocol that you recommend with those three modalities, like one before the other?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Dr. Wolf, he actually put out a whole protocol with a niacin cleanse, where there's a video. I'll send you the link. You can add it to this. It's basically you're taking the niacin beforehand. You jump on the trampoline for like things like 10 minutes, and then you get into the sauna. It's incredible. So obviously, without the trampoline, you get on the vibration machine first. And you want to do that on the trampoline because you're draining the lymph. So you want to do that on speeds of between 2 and 5. The slower, the better. Just relax, let it do its thing, and then you go into the infrared sauna as the third thing. But some people, they don't like the niacin flush. I mean, you could probably talk about that and how good it is for you. But the combination, he came up with a great protocol. You can do it without that, but there's a whole protocol with the niacin flush, vibration machine, and then the infrared sauna afterwards.
Well, it's funny you say that because I do the vibration machine and then I do my infrared sauna right after. So I'm doing it correctly, but that makes sense. You're mobilizing all the toxins and then you're sweating the toxins out. Same with if you had a foot bath and you wanted to expel the toxins out that way. And what we do is we've got the accelerated silver, the accelerated iodine, and the detox powder. Those are mobilizing and the toxins out of your body so that when you're flushing it with the vibration machine and sweating it out with a sauna, if you have a sauna, or just another way of sweating. But just even the detoxing supplements, intermittent fasting, and then getting on the vibration machine, you're really mobilizing those toxins.
And it's funny, the difference is, so we used to own, I was owner for East Coast, West Coast saunas for about 10 years. And it was funny. I'll tell you a really quick, funny story. This guy was on a health kick, and his wife got in the sauna and whatnot. And he's done doing his sauna session, and, she sees him and she hits him, she goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You told me you stopped smoking." He goes, I haven't smoked. And he hadn't smoked for years. And he was going in the infrared sauna and she smelled the smoke in there. She thought he was smoking. It was still pulling it out of his body years later, still coming out.
Yeah. Well, you will, if you're going through a liver flush, sometimes just flushing and really getting those toxins out, you will start smelling the metals or tasting heavy metals in your mouth,
Yeah.
and your stools change. So definitely all those things change. Ed, what you mentioned, the dual system, and the machine I have has the dual system. Can you explain what the benefits are for both vibrations?
Absolutely. So with the dual system, you have one motion was oscillating. That's going to be like a teeter-totter motion. That's going to be able to get a lot lower in the hertz range. When you're getting down lower, that's good for lymph drainage, and it's more on the body for exercise. The other motion on the machine, it's a spiral motion. Basically, the platform only goes up very lightly, so it's easy on the body, but it's a straight up and down motion. The straight up and down motion, you don't want it to have too much of an amplitude, because up and down, it's too much like pounding like a jackhammer. There's some machines out there. I mean, if you're 16 years old, you want to go out for the football team, okay, you might get results a little faster, but for the average person, you don't want to do one part good, three parts bad. So the very low amplitude straight up and down, excellent for bone density, great for blood flow and circulation. And then you can actually combine the two motions together, in which case you're getting the exercise with the extra blood flow and circulation, kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I love it. Well, is there anything we're missing, or do you guys have any other questions about the vibration machines? I want to make sure that you all know you can use coupon accelerated if you're interested, and I will put Ed's contact information in the group chat later today and attached to this recording. Ed, is there anything else we're missing on the benefits of the vibration machines?
No, we covered it pretty well. It's just like I said, it's great. You're getting all the benefits without really, in a negative way, taxing the body, and it's something that we get different things, and there's certain exercise equipment. It turns out to be like a clothes hanger. This does not, because you wake up in the morning, you feel amazing for being on it. It's like you crave getting on the machine. So.
Yeah, I for sure do. And Marvy's asking, how is the setup? I know that the setup for mine was super easy. My husband did it because I have him to do it. Otherwise, I probably could have done it. But go ahead.
Yeah, setup's pretty easy. We have a video that's put together that shows you steps from taking it out of the box to assembling it. But you'll also have my direct phone number. If anybody has any problems, you can call me. You can FaceTime me, and I can walk you through it if you have any issues.
And then Ed also will walk you through the different machines. How many do you sell? You sell quite a few.
There's a lot. Yeah. I mean, we have the small portable machines all the way up to the high end sonic, which is using sound vibration, that's a whole other thing. But that's like the best. But yeah, I'll walk you through soup to nuts. I'll ask you some questions, see where you're at, which one's going to work best for you, and see which one fits best.
And you just mentioned the sonic machine. They're very expensive. I used to have one. I actually never really felt a huge difference from that machine versus mine. But can you talk about why it's so much better?
The sonic machines, I mean, they're great. The machine you have, I know, is excellent. Sonic is like kind of just like a little notch above from what they say. It doesn't have a motor. It's using sound vibration. You're actually standing on a subwoofer, which is propelling the platform up and down. So it's super gentle on the body and very effective. I usually like to rate the machines on which ones are going to be effective but not harsh on the body. Sonic, I put number one. The dual motor that you have there is a very close second.
Okay. Well, this is part of my daily routine without fail. When I go out of town, I'm craving my machine, and I'm trying to mimic the feeling from just, if I can find a trampoline, which is usually not available, maybe I'll do jumping jacks or a jump rope just to get that up and down motion, but it's never the same as my actual machine. And it's a running joke in our family because if no one knows where mom is, she's probably on her machine. So, but the benefits of exercise, you guys, and how can you enhance using the machine or any sort of exercise, focusing on protein, the clean wild protein, keeping your carbs low, having healthy fats, the olive oil, the avocado, coconut oil, and staying away from the inflammatory seed oils. And the X49 patch is amazing. I've seen a big difference with that in combination with the vibration platform. The ease of me doing my push-ups was like instantaneously within 2 weeks. I felt a whole new sense of strength in my arms, especially. But then you're just getting that benefit mentally, where you're getting rid of the brain fog, opening the pineal gland, especially with the acceleradine doing so, and the accelerated silver and the accelerated keto, bringing in your body into ketosis, engaging in autophagy, which is of course going to help with your immune system, help with your sleep, help with your stress level. All of these things add up and get you in this cycle of, okay, I'm feeling better. What's next? I want to keep going in the right direction. And these little different modalities work synergistically together. And that is what I love, is that it's just a lifestyle thing where you need to add all of these things in. Well, if there's no other questions, that's what I wanted to cover today, Ed. And thank you so much for letting everyone know about your expertise. And also I'll give everyone your contact information, and you always can contact me if you have any questions. The thing I love about Ed's website and his business is he has so many different machines. So he's going to give you an objective opinion as far as which machine is right for you, because everyone has their different categories, where you're young, you're old, you've never worked out a day in your life, or you're an Olympic athlete. So, all righty. Well, thanks everybody for joining me, and we will see you next week.